I'm going to show you exactly how to write your own Islamic studies timetable to balance school or work with Islamic studies. Now, this method relies on leveraging the extra free time you have on weekends, but if you're someone who's busy on weekends too, don't worry, it can still work. In our timetable, we need to fit in 4 things: Quran memorization, Arabic studies, reviewing time, and general reading. If you've already memorized the Quran and already know Arabic, you would replace Quran memorization for Mutun memorization, and Arabic studies for more general reading time. So let's take the average school day. Of course, everyone's day is different, but I'll provide you with a template you can kind of work with. So let's say you go to school from 9 to 3. By the time you've had something to eat and done your schoolwork for the day, it's about 5:30. Now you need to specify a certain amount of time you're willing to dedicate every day to your Islamic studies. Whether it's 2 hours, an hour, half an hour, or 20 minutes, that doesn't matter at this stage. Just choose something you know you'll be able to consistently stick to. But if you're someone who's never had an Islamic schedule before, don't get overexcited thinking you'll be able to do 5 hours. Start with something manageable like half an hour. Now, how do we actually split this time? If your dedicated time is 40 minutes or more, then split it in half. Spend the first half memorizing the Quran using the triple layered method, which I'll explain in a future video inshallah, and use the second half learning Arabic with the Medina books. If your specified time is less than 40 minutes, then dedicate it all to memorizing, and we leave the Arabic to the weekends. And on top of this, we need to dedicate an extra 20 minutes every morning to reviewing what you've memorized of the Quran. Now, as a complete beginner, you won't have much to review, but once you've memorized more than a juz or so, this 20 minutes is essential. And this reviewing can even be done on your way to work or school if you take public transport. Now, on the weekend, try to wake up as early as possible. And again, we're going to dedicate a specific amount of time to Islamic studies. So if your dedicated time on weekdays is about half an hour, then on Saturdays and Sundays, it might be something like 2 hours. If your dedicated time on weekdays was 1 hour, it might be something like 3 hours on weekends. If you're a beginner, we're not going to do any more memorization on the weekend. Instead, we're going to split this time in half again. And we're going to spend the first half doing general Islamic studies, in which we'll study the 4 foundational Islamic sciences. Now, what are these sciences? This will be discussed in a future video inshallah. And we're going to spend the second half learning Arabic again with the Medina books. And in addition to this, you need to do your usual 20 minutes of reviewing, or more if you're feeling energetic. Of course, everyone is different. Some people prefer to dedicate weekdays entirely to memorization, and they delay the rest of the studies to the weekends. Some people even like to do the opposite. And some intermediate students who are willing to spend a bit more time prefer to do a bit of everything every day. But this is kind of just a general template you can work with and build on as you advance. But you'll be surprised how much you can actually achieve in such a short space of time using this method. Let's say you dedicate about an hour a day on weekdays and 3 hours on Saturdays and Sundays. Assuming your memory is quite average, in about a year's time, you'll have memorized nearly a quarter of the Quran, and you'll have finished nearly all 3 Medina books. And on top of that, you'll have a good basic understanding of the foundational Islamic sciences. Now, in order for this method to work, you need to be constantly on top of your school studies if you go to school. Don't sacrifice your school studies for the sake of your Islamic studies, because what often ends up happening when you do this is that you end up cramming all of your school revision right before the exams. When that happens, you won't be able to do any Islamic studies at all, so you end up forgetting a lot of what you've memorized and learnt during that time. Instead, it's better to consistently do a small amount every day.